Good morning, students and listeners. Welcome to the third lecture of Introduction to Python. In today's lecture, we are going to explore the operators related to Python. Previously, we have explored about data types. Today, we are going to explore operators. So, our today's target is to cover basic operators, the concept of variable, the type of operators, that is assignment operators, arithmetic operators, comparative operators, membership operators, identity operators, and bitwise operators. And at the end, changing and defining the type of data. How to change the data type. So let's move further. We know that operators work in a similar fashion to mathematical function. They provide a relationship between two different domains. For example, multiplication operators make an ordered pair of operands. Operands means data on which the operator works. So, the multiplication operators make an ordered pair of operands and produce another data point. This can be done to any number of data points. In this way, the operator transforms data from the domain of operands to the domain of results. As you can see on the slide, the basic type of operators that is available for mathematical operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, and exponential. These operators can be combined in a complex manner to perform an arithmetic operation. Depending on the data type, they define their functionality. For example, on numeric data, the addition operator, that is plus, perform numeric operation, while on string it will perform concatenation. Similarly, the multiplication operator, when applied to string, concatenates the strings those many times the number is been obtained. The division, modulus, and exponential operators do not have a defined behavior for strings. This behavior can be verified as we are moving further. Let us verify this behavior on Python console. First of all, let me open the Python console. Okay, so the first operator which I am going to write is 2 plus 3. I know its output will be 5. Now, as I have suggested, if it is a string, then the output will be a concatenation, that is AB. Similarly, if I write hello world in this line, the output will be with concatenation. The output will be something like this. I have to ignore the use of space, otherwise it will generate an error. There is no space here, there is the space, and here there is space. Let's see, at the end there is no space. Yes. Now let's check. Okay, let me write it again. Hello plus I think here there is an error. So this is the output in the string manner. Now if I multiply the string, the output will be like this. Using the multiplication operator over string, it will give me AAA. But if, as I have suggested, if there is a division module, division operator, the output will be different, as you know that it is not supported by string. This operator is not supported by string and integer. Similarly, if we go for the another operator, that is this, the output will show the same result, that no arguments are supported during the string. Similarly, if we go for exponential operator, double star stands for exponential, it shows me an error. So there are variety of operators that can be operated on data type, and that we will discuss further in our session. So the modules that define a new data type for which new operations are defined will also be discussed. Let us move further. Concept of variables. So when an operator acts on a data, its value can change during the course of computation. This can happen multiple times. To store value temporary, for example during the course of computation or during we use variables in order to store the output temporary. Variables point to a particular value at a memory location via its address, visualized in a hexadecimal number. Actually, the whole setup can be assigned to a symbolic stream, and this is nothing but a variable. For example, you can store the value of 0.12 as a variable and then use it in an equation. It's simple as I am explaining. Let us see it that how can we define and how can we store values over the Python code using this Python code. So first of all, let me clear the window. So now, as I suggested, I am going to assign a variable 0.12 to variable a. So let me write that. So I have assigned a value of 0.12 to a variable name a. The output will be there is no output. Why? Because we have stored it on a variable a. It is in the memory. Now when are we going to perform a calculation? For example, I want answer and I want to multiply a raised to 2. This is the equation, plus 10 into a square plus 10a. The simple calculation. Let us see the output. Before going further, I want to clear that output will be stored in a variable name answer. Okay, so there is no output. But when you write print and a, you will get the value of a. Similarly, if I write answer, you will get the value of answer. So if you want to check what is the type, that is the type of answer, data type of answer, you can just, as we have discussed in our previous lecture on data type, you can use the type function and you can show that the type is float, the class float. Similarly, you can assign a different variable to it. For example, if you want to change the value of a is equal to 0.12, from a is equal to 0.12 to a is equal to, let's say, 5, okay, the output will change, I think so. Now you can write directly print and answer. Okay, and previously the answer is 0.12144, but currently the answer is again 1.2144. This clearly says that by changing this value, by changing the assigned value to a, you can't directly change the value to answer. You have to run this particular equation of answer again, and then you can again see the answer changes. So what we have done here is nothing but we have just assigned a numerical value of 0.12 to a memory location known by a name a. So this is called by a subsequent equation defined using the variable name answer, which when printed prints the value stored in it. The value stored is a floating point number. The type of object can be known by the function type, which takes the variable as an argument. So the variable changes when we change this variable to a new value 5. However, the value that computation has been performed for the variable answer stores the old evaluated value, and we need to again run this answer variable again to reassign the new value of a is equal to 5. When the value changes, this pointer changes to a different addresses. It is the memory that stores the data. The data can be of any type. In an example, as we have already discussed in our previous previous lecture that the data were a number, but they can be of any type. So when we talk about variables, it is necessary to know that what are the rules of naming a variable. These rules has to be considered. So what are the rules of naming a variable? These rules are as follows. See, one thing has to be sure that Python uses certain keywords for its own use, and that certain names that should not be used for variables. In addition, there are some internationally accepted rules. Those are the common rules for almost any programming languages, which are given here. The first is the name must begin with a letter, that is A to Z or A to B in upper or lower case, or an underscore. The rest of the characters can be letter, numbers, or underscore. Names are case sensitive, so you can't say A is equal to A. Means A in uppercase is not equal to A in lowercase. Those are case sensitive. Those are two different variables. Those both variables will allocate your memory. There is no limit to the length of the names, but it is advisable to keep them short and meaningful. And as I mentioned earlier, that keywords should not be used as variable names. But how are we going to know that what are the keywords? It is necessary to know that what are the keywords. So for that, Python in particular provide you a function called keyword.isKeyword, and it will give you the list of keywords available for you. So let us check this in our console. First of all, clearing the window. Now I am going to import keyword. See, it is necessary because Python provides this in the file named keyword.py, which is available in its origin folder. After importing, let us write keyword.kwlst. Let us see that whether it is working or not. Okay, so these are the list of keywords that is available, that is recognized by Python. So you should have to, means you should not have to use this keyword. You should avoid using these words for variable names. Okay, so a handy way to check a name among the keyword list exists for an interactive session. To check if a particular variable name is a keyword or not, you can use the function keyword.isKeyword. Just as I mentioned, keyword.isKeyword. So again you have to, again let me clear the screen for you and import keyword. Now I have to check keyword.isKeyword. So this, and I will like the name lambda. So I want to check whether this is this particular string is a keyword or not. Then okay, it is not. Lambda is not, but lambda is. Okay, so the name lambda is a keyword, but lambda is not. So this is the difference. So the name can be input as a string or this function, and if it is string, means if it is a keyword there, it will show you a true sign. If it is not, it will show you the false sign. I hope you understand it. Let's move to the slide back. Now assignment operator. So what is an assignment operator? As you know, the concept of variable uses the symbol equal to, which is not same as equal to in mathematics. Yes, this symbol, this particular symbol, which I am actually showing you here. If my cursor is visible to you, this particular symbol, let me highlight it.